a lot of times when people are laying people off, they have no severance package, but they feel bad. And so I'm going to give you a couple of $1,000. One of my companies a long time ago, I was told, don't do that. You just establish, well, I want to give her, because she's a single mom, I want to give her $3,000. But old Bob over there, he can be working tomorrow. I'm not giving him anything. Can you talk a little bit? Do you set a precedent when you do that?
You can, and again, different scenarios. If you're looking at laying off, well, are you laying off one employee and you're saying it's a layoff when it's really just an employee you're trying to get rid of, but you have some concern about getting rid of them? So, oh, I'm just going to lay off and not have that position anymore. That may come up. If you're looking at the one-off scenario, there can be times where paying a severance is very effective. If you're offering a severance, you want to make sure that the employee is likely to accept the offer. The reason in doing so is by providing them a severance, you also, in doing so, want to make sure that they're signing an agreement that's a release agreement that's releasing you as the company from any employment liability claims, which again, that's key. So don't just write them a check and presume that that's released. That happens more than you would realize. You want to make sure they're signing an actual release agreement, releasing any claims that they're able to do. And it can set a precedent, but it can also be very useful if you are potentially concerned about claims out there, to have some sort of guarantee of, okay, we've paid them this. And so the chance of having a successful claim is, much, much, much less likely than it is otherwise. So there are times it can be effective if it's used properly. It can be overused. I've got some clients that just, we want to do a severance agreement for everybody we let go. I wouldn't suggest that. I would, unless there's an actual reason for doing so. You do see them, though, the scenario we were talking about earlier with your layoffs or your RIFs, where it's, just business performance and we're reducing personnel. A lot of times the severance is a component of that. If the employees let go for no reason of their own, a lot of times the severance is provided. Similarly, if it's a business where employees are being let go because the business is being sold and the new, the acquiring company doesn't want to maintain the full employee workforce, typically a severance is part of that, process of the sale, where employees are provided some sort of compensation because they're being let go with no fault of their own. Not required, but is pretty typical to see.